recording. Okay, so I'm going to read one more time. I have Patricia, unknown A, Vanessa, unknown B, Lisbeth, unknown A, Mekinsha, unknown B, Jocelyn, unknown A, Brandon, unknown A, Molly, unknown A, Trent, unknown B, Melanie, unknown B, and Alexandra, unknown A, Jovan, unknown B. So that's for the unknown and attendance. About the experiment. I'm going to extend the due date for the lab notebook. The lab notebook for this experiment is going to be due tomorrow night. In case if you need to make any adjustment, any changes, you could just submit the changes to it. Going to make it due Thursday, 11:39 p.m. Okay. Now, what is going to be a part of the unknown, part of the lab notebook, is you write procedure for everything that is on page 233. So if you open page 233, it gives you some hint what to start with, what to do. So if your unknown is a solid compound, you would measure melting point. So in your lab notebook, you need a procedure for melting point. Don't just say measure melting point. Write the procedure down. How would you measure the melting point? Where are you going to find that? You can look into experiment 18 and experiment 19 to write like 2-line procedure for melting point. Just feed the capillary tube or place it and watch for, a simple procedure for melting point. If it's a boiling point, that would mean that your unknown is liquid. So if your unknown is liquid, you're going to just write a procedure for boiling point. Again, you could find that in experiment 18. I do not want you to write everything from experiment 18 or experiment 19, all of it in your lab notebook, but just select the section of it. So you look at page 233, find out what you need. Like you need the solubility in water. The procedure for solubility in water is in experiment 18, and you could find that in experiment 19 also. It doesn't matter where you find it as long as you write the procedure for solubility in water. Then you would do solubility in, let's say, sodium hydroxide. If it doesn't dissolve in sodium hydroxide, there is no need to do solubility for sodium bicarbonate. So that's why that page, it tells you based on what is needed, whatever is applicable. Okay. If it dissolves in sodium hydroxide, do you have to dissolve it in H2SO4? No, because it's already giving you what is happening. So you just put the NA, like not applicable, if you think it's not applicable. Which one is applicable, which one is not applicable, it's coming from you, not me, because this is your unknown and not my unknown. So for today, what you need to do, you're going to watch the video. You already know which unknown, so you pay attention to that unknown more close attention to that unknown, because both of them are in the same video. And you record your observation for your unknown only. And then fill in the page 233. The back of page 233, it says, based on the solubility test or the result of your experiment, can you come up with 2 functional groups? Your compound could be what and what. So you're coming with possible group or possible functional group. You could say my compound could be either alcohol or ketone. It could be aldehyde or ketone. It could be carboxylic acid or amine, but you have to come up with that 2 functional group. And that's all you're doing for today, for today's experiment. Next week, you have to submit your page 233, 234. And if you go to the assignment for the unknown part 1, there is a Word document. So you don't have to print, fill in, and scan. What you do, is a Word document, you download that, and you are going to fill in the information in the downloaded Word document, save it, and submit. The instruction is given in the assignment. And based on your submission, I would tell you if it's wrong, you will get something from me. You will get a comment that you have to watch the video again, or your prediction for the possible functional group is not correct. But if it's correct, you won't get any notification, or I would tell you that it's okay, go ahead and start the part 2. For part 2 of the experiment is the classification test. So now, let's say if you predict to be alcohol, you have to confirm. So experiment 9, part 1 and 2 is for part 2 is for alcohol. You know that you do like cetic nitrate test. If it gives you like red color or strong color, just like the ones that you did before for a known sample, then you say yes, it's alcohol. And if you think that it is alcohol, then you have to do Lucas test or watch for evidences for that and see is it primary, secondary, or tertiary. So the second part, or the procedure for second part, is unknown specific. So if your unknown, for example, is aldehyde, in your opinion, is either aldehyde or ketone, you will only be dealing with part 3 of the experiment 19. If you find your compound to be amine or carboxylic acid, then part 4 and 5. If you know for sure is carboxylic acid, is going to be only, I think, part 5, that is carboxylic acid. So it's like unknown specific. For next week, there is no extension for next week's lab notebook. It has to be turned in that day at 12:30 p.m. on Wednesday, and it's going to be, the report also, which is page 235, also is due short after the experiment is done. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, Patricia, yeah, what's your question? Did you all get your unknown? Mackenzie, did you get your unknown? Your unknown is unknown B. Patricia, yes, is A. For unknown A, yes. What is your question? Oh, the melting point wasn't included in the video. Okay. Is unknown A liquid or solid? Is solid? And the unknown A, the melting point was not included. Did I measure the melting point? The video shows me that measuring the melting point. Oh, I see what happened. I think I forgot. I think I forgot. I think I forgot to measure the melting point. And then if you look at the second part, part 2, the first thing I do, I measure the melting point. Please watch that, and if it's not there, send me an email. Then I'll find the melting point. Maybe I forgot to. I think that's what happened. I didn't measure the melting point right there, and then I measured it the following week, beginning of the class. You don't need the melting point to come up with the functional group, but you do need the melting point for second week, definitely, to come up with the name for the unknown. So we should be able to finish the experiment. Part 1, even if you don't have the melting point, but if you watch the first part of experiment unknown identification part 2, I hope that you find the melting point there. If not, let me know. Okay, any other questions you might have for me? Do you know what to start, what to do, what's going to happen with your lab notebook? If you did it correct, you have the procedure for every steps that you need for page 233, then you are fine. If you have any corrections, and if you want to make sure to include the corrections, then you can just resubmit or submit the corrections. I extend the deadline for assignment to Thursday, 11:59 p.m. just for those of you who joined us a little later. That's why I'm repeating. Okay, any questions? Questions for me? No questions? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much and have a great day. I hope that you feel comfortable with like trying to find out what's the name for the unknown. That's a good practice. Okay, perfect. That gives you like feel of a research, especially if you were in the lab. That would have been even better. That you try to find out just the compound that you have white powder. That's a good feeling if you accomplish that, and you will. You will. Okay, thank you so much. I already, as I was giving you the unknown, I already marked the attendance sheet, so there's no more attendance. Have a great day. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording as well. Lisbeth, yes, yes. As part of that the data, I put how it's showing in page 233. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Yes. Yes. What's your question, Lisbeth?
Hello, Dr. Mamari. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Dr. Mamari, I have a question for part 4 and 5 for the lab report. And it is about the first thing is about the calculation that we have to make. I don't know if you can explain me a little bit how to do it because I'm not so confused.
Okay. I want you to open the page. Let me tell you which page. I want you to open the lab notebook, the ebook, and go to part 4 and 5. Which is Is it the carboxylic acid part 4 or the amines is part 4?
I do believe is for
Okay,
um,
page 219. Okay, page 219. Okay, in this page, you find the milliliter of base from titration. Okay, you find the milliliters of base used in the from burette. When you watch the video, you find that number, and then the molarity is given is a 0.1. And step 1, you find number of moles of the base. Do you see that?
Dr. Mamari, yes, the milliliters of base used is the 2.02 grams, is that one?
No. Milliliter of sodium hydroxide. What was the initial volume, final volume of the burette? How much sodium hydroxide did you drain? Did you add to neutralize it?
Was from 0 to 0.6, if I'm not wrong.
No, that's not correct. 0.6 or 6 milliliter? Okay, you have to find that number. That's like if you start from 0 and it goes to 6, that's it. It goes from 0 to 6. But you have to find that number. That number goes to milliliter of the base. Okay, so the part that is highlighted, you know how to do that part now, right? Because all you need is the milliliter of the used sodium hydroxide. And then the molarity of the base is a 0.1. It should be given in the procedure, use a 0.1, but I'm telling you now, is also the molarity of the base is a 0.1. So you find number of moles of base. What's on your step 2?
So in the step 2 will be the same.
There is no calculation. Just saying that number of moles of acid also equals number of moles of base. So whatever you find in step 1, that's the number of moles of the acid. And then step 3, when you had that 0.2 gram of the sample, mass of the sample in gram, that was a 0.2 gram, you divide that, but you find from number of moles for the acid. So those are the 3 steps. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now is the part clear. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Mary, I have another question, and it is about when we are getting the pink solution, the dark pink solution. That is for the titration. With benzoic acid, we had this dark pink solution. So I don't know if should I consider as a positive reaction.
No, that is the end point of reaction. When you do titration, when you add enough base to neutralize all the acid, the solution, as soon as it becomes basic, is going to be neutral, or as soon as it's basic, it turns pink color. So it's not a positive or negative. That's where you count how many milliliters of base you have used. Is a titration experiment. Is not qualitative analysis. It's a titration.
Oh, okay. And the other part that I would like to clarify, because that wasn't clear for me, was when we are doing the amine, the nitro compounds, we were talking about the first, second, no, I'm sorry, primary, secondary, and tertiary. But for which compound we are doing, because as we have on the procedure, it says like for if we have an unknown compound, but since we were working with 3, amine. So which one we were working with? I was a little bit confused about that one.
Okay, for the known samples, I tell you, for the known sample, these are the three compounds that we used. Because it was known sample, I already picked the name. I said, you know, we used these three, and depends on which one you use, because it was a known sample. We already know that this is a primary, that's a secondary, this is a secondary, and the last one is a tertiary. This is a tertiary. So
Okay.
primary, we use this one. For secondary, we use this one, and for tertiary, we use this one.
Oh
And
no.
that's on page 217.
Okay.
Yeah, I ordered the
Okay,
same.
that's alright. Now that part
So
is
that
clear.
one, yeah, those are the compounds that we.
Alright. I do have another question, but
Okay, when it says like a liquid amine, for the known sample, I already knew which amines they are, because the bottle had the name, and I have the name also in here. So we know which ones are we used. That for the unknown, you haven't done the unknown. They were the known samples, so I knew that I have a primary, but I was practicing with the primary. I was practicing with secondary and practicing with tertiary.
oh yeah, to rectify by experiment, like doing this, or this is happening to each of them. So when you have
Yes,
unknown, this
yes,
will happen if that is. Um,
exactly.
another that this question is not part of anymore for the lab report, but it's about the lab report for part 3.
Uh-huh.
I was able to upload it on Friday, if I'm not wrong, Dr. Mari, I think, in the night of Friday or in the night of Thursday to Friday. But I was trying to work as fast as possible during that week because it was a really hard week for me. So I was trying to, I don't know if I got like two days as delayed date,
Okay,
but I don't
it
know.
says that is late, right?
Yeah, I don't know if
Oh,
that
but
will
you did
count.
submit it. You submitted, but it says it's late, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's,
Just I wanted to let you know because since it says late, I know that will be some points off,
uh-huh.
but I just wanted to tell you again that I wasn't feeling okay because of the vaccine that I received. So I
Mm.
was trying to work as fast as possible to complete the assignment.
Are
We'll
you
be
feeling
okay, I
better?
think.
Are you feeling better?
Better compared to the 2 days ago, yes.
Good.
Somehow, Dr. Mari, on Friday, I was feeling better than Tuesday and Wednesday. But in the Friday, like at night, I got fever.
Mm.
I start vomiting. I don't know why.
Oh God.
So maybe some side effects or something like that. So but now, yeah, I feel better comparing to those days.
Mm. Good. Good. That's good.
Yeah. Dr. Mary, thing. Oh yeah, I already asked you about the notebook for part for the final, which is for the unknown final examination. We have to do as I did for preliminary identification. The notebook, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. But that's based on your unknown. Depends on what you think your unknown is. Then you are going to just focus on your unknown and the possible steps that you have to follow. Or now that you have the video, you can watch, and based on the steps that I do, you can write the procedure.
Oh, okay, that will be better. We don't have to do a lab report
No
for
lab report.
preliminary.
No,
Okay.
no lab report.
The assignment that it says on D2L, that means that we have to complete on the
Yes, it's
notebook
a Word
what we have.
document. Uh-huh. It's a Word document. It's the same table as page 233, 234. You download, you complete, and you upload.
Oh, I got it. All right, Dr. Memory. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, and have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.